You've been betting a lot of home run props over the last few weeks to begin this season. What has been your strategy in betting those home run props?
I mean, I've had a lot of success just looking for bad pitchers to fade early on. And, I think the numbers are what you really have to look at. I look at the pitcher, how many home runs they've given up already this year, but what their splits are against, righties versus lefties. And then I'll go to the other team's lineup and look to see who the home run hitters are. And honestly, look for guys who are in a drought. I mean, I hit Manny Machado's first home run of the year. He hadn't hit one. And yet last Thursday night, he teed off against Milwaukee and finally hit his first home run of the year. I hit two of them with the Braves, with Matt Olson and Ronald Acuna when they played the A's. We just hit Jose Ramirez's first home run of the year with Cleveland the other night. I mean, the formula seems to be working for me. And what I'm really keying on to more than anything here, Jeff, is the odds that each player is getting. I'm looking for players in the range of that plus 325, plus 350, on the high end to the plus 450 to 475. And I've equated that again to something what I would look at for anybody who follows horse racing, a 6 to 7 to 1 favorite to win a race, because that's a big enough payout if you hit a win or an exacta or even a trifecta with that horse in the lead. You get a big enough payout that it's worth it. But it's not so much of a long shot that they don't have a chance to win the race. It's the same thing with these numbers. These are proven home run hitters that we're looking at, guys that odds makers understand can, anytime they get up against anybody, put the ball out of the ballpark. When you combine that in with splits that work in their favor, and guys who might be 3 or 4 games, 5 games in a drought for a home run that look like they're due, I mean, it's easy to find guys to fade and pitchers who typically give up the long ball. So it requires a little bit of research and a little bit of work, but it's been paying off here. I've hit 5 home run props in the last 5 days, and 4 out of 5 days that we've gone hitting a home run prop. So it's a system that's working. I don't try to force it. I didn't play one today because I didn't really see anybody out there on the board, despite the fact that Josiah Gray was pitching for the Nationals. I didn't love the Orioles, batters against him because he gives up home runs to everybody, but it just didn't look like a spot that anybody was worth taking. So that's just a very simple system, I think, that I'm using. I don't know how much longer I'll have this much success with it as the season goes on, but I'm enjoying the ride while it's going on. I'm not going to lie.
No, I ride the highs while you can. I mean, that's,
yeah,
I
sure.
mean, absolutely in this thing for sure. And that's an amazing run. And I like this strategy too of taking numbers that are still really juicy, but they're not the 9 to 1 guys, the 10 to 1 guys. There's a reason those guys are that high. They're not hitting home runs. They're hitting home runs probably once every 25 days, once a month, maybe. That's why they're priced like that. And you're getting good players. And like you said, proven home run guys at good prices still.
The one game I missed was the Phillies the other day. I forget who they were facing. It was 2 days ago. But anyway, I played Trey Turner, who hasn't hit a home run yet this year after hitting all those home runs in the World Baseball Classic. Hasn't hit one yet this year. And Alec Baum, both of those guys in their first 3 at-bats all had 3 hits. None of them left the ballpark. But, it was sort of validation for me, Jeff, that my at least strategy was sound because they hit the ball hard. They had extra base hits against them. And those were the guys I wanted. And they were right in that same price range of plus 350 to plus 425. And I felt like, it sort of validated my process a little bit.
Mark, we're about 3 weeks into this baseball season now. What has stood out to you the most team-wise, rules-wise, whatever way you want to take it?
Well, I found I don't really want to overthink it. The other thing I think that is the easiest thing to do right now, even though the plus 1.5 is the best bet you can make in baseball, right? Generally, it's just the smartest bet you can make. You're going to get the best value for it. But I've really also been just trying to find money lines with good teams, with good starters that are home against bad teams. I mean, why not continue to find a good starter going up against Oakland and play it? Why not find a good starter going up against Kansas City and play it? Why not find a good starter going up against the Marlins and play it? Right? I know you're going to have to accept some risk here, Jeff, and that's the thing. You're going to lay 170 to 200, and that is never a long-term sustained plan for winning. But I'll shorten what I'm willing to wager, make it a smaller amount so I'm not leveraged so much against it. And if you get 2 or 3 of these right, you're starting to bankroll a little bit where if you lose one and it goes awry, you haven't totally given it all back in one game. So that's where bankroll management and being smart with how much you're going to wager really matters. But again, I think it's worked out this way. I mean, Did I think the Twins were going to be this good at the beginning of the year? No. Did I try to fade them a couple of times? Yes. Did I get bit? Absolutely. It's happened a couple of times here, but for the most part, other than that, the bad teams have been really bad, and the good teams have started to be good. And I think, oh, by the way, I'll give a nod to the Chicago Cubs. I think they're going to win a lot more games than people think. I have an over-win prop on the Diamondbacks this year at 75.5. They are surprising a lot of people right now, and it's a great start for that total to go over. But I think those are some of the surprises here. And why not continue to ride Tampa Bay when they're playing a bad team? They're hot right now, and until the regression hits, and it hits hard, and you see them lose 5 out of 6, 10 out of 12, stay on the train until there's any reason to get off.
Rays at 15-3. They cash your first team to 15 wins props that are out there as well with a win earlier in the night against the Reds.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.